Well, I think the doll family ordered out for fried chicken tonight for dinner. Stick around and I'll show you how you can make some fried chicken for the dolls in your dollhouse to enjoy too. Alright, we don't need a lot of materials for this. We need some off-white clay. Any off-white or beige or light brown clay is fine. You'll need some gallery glass in amber. You'll need some brown sand. If you have slightly lighter brown sand than I have here, it'll work better. You need some medium brown paint. This happens to be autumn brown. Something to cut your clay with. A pair of tweezers. A couple of bottle caps. Soft paintbrush, and something to bake your clay on and something to work on. And that's all we need to make these delicious looking fried chicken for our dollhouse. So join me and let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we need is some off-white clay. Any soft off-white polymer clay. And this has some little bits of, like that's got some yellow clay in it, I noticed. This is clay I've gathered up and thrown back in the bag, and it's not the cleanest clay I've got, but it won't matter for this project. This is a good place to use up that off-white clay that's kind of gathered up lint and things, because you're going to cover it up. You just want it off-white in case it shows a little bit. So we're going to cut, I've rolled this into a snake. It's about 1/4 inch in diameter. Now I'm cutting off pieces about 1/4 inch long, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Depends on how big the fried chicken is that your doll family bought. I'm going to take this little bit bigger one. I'm going to make kind of a round. And I'm going to kind of flatten it out. Make sure I can see what I'm doing here. And there, that kind of makes sure it's rounded up, flat on one side. And that looks kind of like a chicken breast. Or it will when we're done. To make a thigh, I kind of smush it into a little kind of flattened, almost like a diamond square shape kind of. It can be kind of irregular. It doesn't have to be perfect. Because again, you know how when you dig into the box of fried chicken or the plate of fried chicken, sometimes you can't really tell what piece it is until you pick it up? That's how this is. Now my favorite to make, the drumstick. We make a ball. And I make a tear shape, almost like an egg shape, almost like we're making an Easter egg. And put that down on my tile, take a tool like a knitting needle or something, and just roll it like this. And now you've got a drumstick. And if you've got your doll with, you can kind of try it in your hand. Does that look? Yeah, that looks like a drumstick. It's the right size. Now, wings. Wings are probably the easiest piece to make. You take that same size piece of clay and you cut it in half. Because you're going to get 2 wings out of that piece. Because wings are smaller. Now, let's get where I make sure the camera can see. And we make kind of a snake. A skinny snake with a point. You want a point on one end. And then you're going to bend it like this. So I've bent that little hook over at the end. And then you're going to kind of hold there and you're going to bend this tip up. And you've got a chicken wing. Let's do that one more time. And you make however many pieces of chicken you need. You know, how many does your doll family need? And this is like batter fried chicken. You know, like maybe you'd get in that fast food place that has the red and white bucket. Or one of those places. So now these need to bake. Bake them whatever your clay package says, but probably not more than 10 or so minutes. Maybe 15 if some of your pieces are big. Now if you're using Barbie, if you want to make this a Barbie size fried chicken, do the same thing, just make it twice as big and have Barbie to hold it. Let me bake these and we'll go on to the next step. Alright, for this step, you just need a couple of things. You need your baked clay. I like to use gallery glass because we're going to use this to glue our sand. And this is amber colored. It looks really light right now, but it turns a really pretty cooked color when it's done. And we need some brown sand. I like to put my gallery glass into a bottle cap so I can squirt out some and keep it contained. And you need your sand in some kind of small container too. And tweezers. Because otherwise you are going to have this all over your fingers. And tweezers are a lot easier to clean. And just dip them in, coat them, and drop them in. And I like to do a whole bunch at once. This is going to make it look like you've got that wonderful batter coating on your chicken. It doesn't take very long. It's pretty quick. And if you have some spots that don't cover, I mean, try to get the gallery glass all over your chicken so that the sand will stick all over. But if you miss a few spots, it's not a huge deal because chicken sometimes in real life the batter comes off. So it'll be okay. As you can see, I've been able to use up almost all of my gallery glass without wasting a lot. I don't like to waste the gallery glass because it's, I mean, it's not expensive, but it, you know, it's not like it counts up. It starts to add up if you start wasting a lot of your product, your materials like that. And try to put them into the sand so they're not touching each other. But we're going to toss it anyway here in a minute. As soon as I get these last two pieces done. And the last one. Now when this is dry, you don't have to throw away your bottle cap. You can actually peel. This will get hard and you can peel the film out. Maybe one of us can figure out what to do with that film of gallery glass when we pull it out. Now, just kind of toss this around. And I like to put these directly on my ceramic tile because they aren't as apt to stick. And try to put the flat side down if you can figure out which is the flat side. But if you can't, that's okay. You see, they kind of become those lumpy shapes that fried chicken is. And we got one more step after this. This is not our final step. We're going to get rid of that shininess of our sand here in a little bit as soon as this all dries. So this will need to dry. Make sure that they're not touching, that you've got them separated. And let those dry. And when they're all dry, we'll do the final step. Alright, for the last step, I've got a mixture here of about half water and half kind of a medium brown paint. This happens to be autumn brown. And I've got a really soft paintbrush. And what we're going to do is just drop this down over. It'll kind of soak into the sand and it'll give it a, it'll make it more dull so it doesn't look so shiny because the sand looks kind of shiny. And, you know, we could probably actually just dip these. That might actually work better. Yeah, I think it's going to work better this time. And if I would have had a lighter brown sand, they would have looked better, but this is the brown sand I had. And put them back on the tray to dry. Because if they're on the paper plate to dry, they will stick. but I like to work on the paper plate because it kind of contains the mess better. You can see there's a little chicken wing. But this is really all there is to making a batch of fried chicken for your dollhouse. So I hope you enjoyed this project. Be sure and find us on, if you're on Facebook, be sure and find us on Facebook and like us. And I'd love to have you post on the wall with some pictures of what you've made, especially if you've made anything with my videos. And be sure to let me know what videos you want to see. I've got a few requests that people have sent. I'm going to try and work on some of those. But I'm always looking for more requests, okay? So if you've got a project that you need something special that you want to make and you don't know how to do it, let me know. And I'll see if I can figure it out for you. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.